Well, you gonna keep her on?
Oh, I'm starting it off. I'm hosting the
Well,
the premiere Empire at Night.
no, I thought.
Well, let's go. Well, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen, I
hey,
am
why
host
not?
the late night Empire at Night. Your host Ron Lowe. Y'all see we got Freddie here with us, Smoking Jeremy, Willie Epton, and Coach Dante. What's going on, fellas? How y'all feeling?
What's going on? Late night edition of Port Sports Empire. Glad to be a part of it. Working for my boy Freddie, Willie, Jeremy, and you. This is my thing, man. Late night. This is what I do. So it's right up my alley. I'm ready to talk some ball.
Yo,
Heck
why I
yeah.
feel like we on a we look. I feel like we on a quiet storm.
The calm before the storm.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
What's going on,
really,
boys?
man, it feels good. It's good to see you this late in the nighttime. What's up, brother? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, just if you didn't know, get the line edged up for Ron because I want to educate him tonight. That's my goal.
Cool.
Edrin McCain. I can't wait to hear you teach, sir.
Hey,
Um,
Willie, you're muted.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. I didn't want people out there to get wind of my snoring with my eyes open. I told y'all in the chat, man, I'm old. I thought that thing said 9 or 10 o'clock Eastern time. So I'm hanging in here, man. It's all good.
I
It's all
Willie,
guess.
are
I
you over
guess.
50?
Willie. I guess when the Raiders getting beat as bad as they beat, I guess it make that happen, huh? I guess it make you just want to go
Hey
to bed.
man,
Like,
look, I didn't told you, man. It is too late for that. It is too late for me to go on a rant in the very first episode of Empire at Night. Coach
I'll
D,
help you. I'll help you. You and your Raiders fans need to get together in Vegas and get a GoFundMe to buy out McDaniel's contract to get rid of him.
I ain't doing a GoFund
Yes.
nothing.
Because they're saying they're too cash strapped to be able to cut him.
No, it ain't like. Okay, let me calm down, Lord.
That's what Mark Davis said.
I don't care what Mark Davis said. Mark Davis is the one that let Rich Bisaccia go. He brought in a Bill Belichick disciple. Tell me the last time a Bill Belichick disciple has had any success as a head coach in the National Football League. Go ahead, I'll wait.
well, I
I
can.
know of a player,
I know.
Mike
I know
Vrabel.
one. He haven't had. Well, he hasn't had the success that everybody had championships, but he had a little bit of success. Bill O'Brien had a little hitch of a success. He
He
didn't
don't
have the
count. He
best,
ran
but he
off
had playoff.
Deshaun Watson. He don't count. He ran off Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, he did. That's true. That's true. But he had some playoff divisional championships and stuff like that. So, I guess that's a little bit, not a lot.
Yeah,
It wasn't great.
that's not the best way to start off a brand new show.
Bill Belichick's flawed coaching tree, but it is the truth. And McDaniel's is the problem.
Most
It's
definitely.
it's the elephant in the room. It's not that hard to look through and dissect that team and see where the issues at.
Nah, but on the
But is
real,
he?
fellas.
But question.
Go ahead, Freddie.
Looks like he froze up.
Yeah, he did. He didn't
Freddie froze up.
he didn't turn into a meme.
Freddie, you go in and out. He's gone.
Okay, so let me say this until he comes back. Real talk about the Raiders. Y'all know that is my team. But I do have an adopted team. Hashtag fins up. Let's go Miami. They're going to win the AFC East. And they're going to go deep into the playoffs. But in terms of the Raiders,
Wow.
yeah, you don't bring in, and this is what kills me about Mark Davis, right? And Josh McDaniels for that matter, talking about that we have to exercise patience. I've been a Raider fan for probably longer than most of y'all have been alive. Okay. We ain't got time for patience. This is like we are the Jerry Jones of the fan bases out there. Time is of the essence. It is beginning to run out on some of us, okay? So we don't have time for we don't have, like Jerry Jones said, and then somebody else once said, Jerry Jones said, we don't have time for a bad time or to have a bad time. We don't have time to waste time. So you don't go out and get the number one wide receiver in the NFL. You don't pair one of the already good pass rushers or best pass rushers in the National Football League with another one who was supposedly in that conversation. But now we have seen that he's nothing but a thief, talking about Chandler Jones. You don't do all that. You don't go and trade for a Rock Ya-Sin to bolster your secondary along with Nate Hobbs, who had a phenomenal year as a rookie. You don't do all of those things to say, oh, we need to be patient.
Man.
Oh, I'm not saying patient. I'm not.
Oh, no, that's what they said.
I'm a Lions fan. I'm 52 years old. I've been a fan for 47 years, so I understand it.
All these tragic teams in here today.
It happens.
All that passion.
Wait. The good thing is the Lions are on a 2-game win streak.
Hold on.
So are the Dolphins.
There is
Freddie's got something to say.
Everybody's team on here is not a dumpster fire. My team is 7-2. My team is 1 game. My team is in the NFC East. The G-Men, Big Blue.
It might be 7-3 after Sunday.
The New York Giants. 8-2.
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. I thought your team gave the Lions the 8th pick overall right now because they're a dumpster fire.
I thought you were a Rams fan.
That's what I just said.
I mean, I'm confused.
So
I get it. The Rams moved to
Willie?
New York.
It's the Odell Beckham connection, I think. It's got to be.
Oh, well, okay.
We need you to explain, Freddie, the
let me educate you, sir.
Brett Gardapi's calling you out, too. He said, watch the Giants go on a 2-game losing streak. Then all of a sudden, Freddie will be saying, fly, Eagles, fly.
Wow.
No.
Go ahead, Freddie. I need some education.
Willie, because this is the same Willie that came into our chat a few poll in the group chat talking about, guys, what team should I root for? So, sir, let's be consistent. And number 2, let me tell you why I made the transition. Ron knows this. I was a Giants fan a year ago. I rooted for the Big Blue. When they was losing, I didn't care. But the reason why I moved, because I did not like how they did handle the Brian Flores situation. So I said, you know what? Bump that. I'm born in California. I'm rooting with the Rams. Let's go. But you know what? I'm a Christian man. I'm a good man. So I forgave him. And now I'm here.
Okay.
Speaking of shenanigans, it is Thursday night, fellas. The Tennessee Titans traveled up to Green Bay. It looked like it's snowing out there. Any of y'all catch the game tonight?
Yeah, I've been watching it. I got the game cast going on my phone right now, and Aaron Rodgers was just sacked for a 12-yard loss.
I got the game on right now.
I don't know why I thought Green Bay was going to put their stuff together and, kind of start to look like a decent football team. And even with Tannehill just trying to throw the game away, just giving them back-to-back interceptions, Green Bay cannot move the ball. It's tragic. We put a fork in those boys.
I said at the beginning of the season, before it even started, before the offseason, before preseason started, I just looked at the rosters. I said, this is the year where you could see it. Minnesota take the North, the Lions be in second, Green Bay go to third, and Chicago go to fourth. And so far, it's lining up that way.
Mind blown. Meanwhile, the Tennessee Titans are on their way to 7-3, right along with your Miami Dolphins. Right up there with the Bills, right up there with the Chiefs. Anybody believe in them? in a late playoff run. Tannehill looked decent tonight.
I believe in them because they're in a bad division in the AFC. The AFC South, the Colts are a dumpster fire. You got Jeff Saturday, who's a new coach, who brought in the offensive coordinator that was his high school offensive coordinator that he coached at, Parks Frazier. Granted, they called the game against the Raiders and they won. Is that more because they called that great of a game or because the Raiders are that bad? I mean, seriously, that's the question.
Outside with the Raiders being bad. One question I wanted to ask you, Willie, you said you believe in the Dolphins. For some reason, this guy Tua, and they're gonna have a deep playoff run. And what about the Miami Dolphins makes you so confident in them as
Absolutely.
we talk about these teams that's
okay. Well,
they're your favorite, right? Over the Bills, over the Chiefs.
Well, no. You gotta understand that this is an adopted team. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not flipping coast like Freddie is. Okay. The Raiders are my team. They will be from now until the end of time. But right now, I am tired of being in rehab, hooked on the narcotic that is the Oakland Raiders. That's right. I said Oakland Raiders. So what about Miami that has me confident? Well, that coach is doing a stand-up job out there. And if you're able to take a quarterback like Tua, who many people had deemed to be on his way to being a bust, and then you pair him with Jalen Waddle, you pair him with Tyreek Hill, you pair him with Mike Gesicki, the tight end, and you turn that offense almost to something similar to what he ran at Alabama. So that's why I say that they had the fastest wide receiver room in all of football. I'm talking about from the NFL all the way down to Pop Warner. They had the fastest wide receiver room in all of football.
So let me get this straight. You saying we can trust in them because they sexy?
No, I didn't say I trust them at all.
Oh,
okay. That's what I'm saying. I picked the Dolphins.
That's all pretty. That's all fancy. That's all looks nice. But when it comes to football in December and January, when everything slow down, it get cold, I don't know if I can trust in that pass game with Tua and Waddle, although they are electric. I think teams is gonna have a lot of response.
Treylon Burks, he's a bad man. He just caught another big pass, a 51-yarder to the 5-yard line. Timeout, Green Bay.
So put it together.
Here's my rebuttal to that, because it ain't like Tua is out there slinging the ball all over the place like Josh Allen is. So he doesn't have to have that arm in that offense. Mm-hmm. That's a dink and dunk West Coast offense to where they can just get the ball to the playmakers, and then those dudes do work. Now, they can also run the pill. I mean, they got the kid they got Jeff Wilson over from the 49ers. They got I forgot the other kid in the backfield that they already had. So they can I believe that they'll be able to run the ball whenever the time requires them to do that. But in terms of Tua being able to, or having to throw the ball, he's not having to throw the ball like Josh Allen or any of those other strong-armed guys out there that can just whip it through the wind like that. So I'm not really as concerned about it as some other people may be.
Coach Dante, which team you believe in the AFC?
I believe in Kansas City. I believe in Kansas City a lot. You got the quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, that knows how to make guys better, that knows how to make other guys around them better. They did just added an explosive guy. If he can stay on the field, Kadarius Toney is going to help him out. Of course, you got Travis Kelce that can open up the field for everybody else. Juju Smith-Schuster not having a bad year. I know their defense is a little suspect, but it doesn't take a lot for their defense to get going, especially getting the ball back into Patrick Mahomes' hands. So I trust I trust the Kansas City Chiefs a lot more than I trust the Dolphins because they have been there, they have the experience, and when you're playing at Arrow, they can win any at home or on the road. So that's the one thing. But the Dolphins are a sleeper team. I believe Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and Mike Gesicki as well. Jeff Wilson has been playing phenomenal football, so they have ran the ball pretty explosive. They got a solid defense, but I just trust the Chiefs more because they have been there and they have done that. And when it's time to make a big play, that defense will make a big play. And Patrick Mahomes shows time and time again why he's the best quarterback in the NFL. So again, I trust the Chiefs. I trust the Chiefs a lot, but I'm not going to sleep on the Dolphins. They're a pretty competitive team, and I think far as when Jeff Wilson is huge that they added for us that running game. They have been able to run the ball pretty explosive with him, but I will take the Chiefs over the Dolphins.
I agree 1,000% with the Chiefs. It's the easy way to go. It literally takes miracles to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
I picked my 4 teams coming out of the NFC and AFC to begin with. It was Bills, Chiefs, and then it was Eagles and 49ers. That's what I seen for the NFC Championship and the AFC Championship. And then if any of those 4 teams make it to the Super Bowl, I look like a genius.
Facts.
Yeah.
And I it could break down that way, the way it's looking.
I actually got the 49ers a sleeper top 3 team in the NFL. I actually got them as a sleeper top 3. Not saying they're a top 3 team in the NFL right now, but the way they're constructed, the way they're using Christian McCaffrey, and now that they got Elijah Mitchell back, who was a 900-yard running back last year, his rookie year, and that defense, the way that defensive line can get after the quarterback, and they have an improved secondary of Jimmy Ward that they got from the Chiefs. I believe that cornerback is getting better. So that's a sleeper team that can be in a Super Bowl. That can be in a Super Bowl with that defense. If Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't turn the ball over and he just managed the game the right way, that team can be easily in a Super Bowl in the NFC. Because who you got to go through in the NFC? Who would I pick them over? I will pick them over the Giants in the NFC. I will pick them over the Giants. The Eagles, I think they can pretty much handle the Eagles. I think they can do that. Who else you got in the you got Minnesota. I can trust that. I think they can get pressure on Kirk Cousins and contain Justin Jefferson. You don't got that many teams in the NFC that's balling out right now. That's elite. You don't got that many teams, so that's why I figured they will have a shot. They will have a shot in the NFC.
That it is true. But I got a crazy fun fact about Jimmy G that most people don't even realize. When he does not throw a pick and does not throw a passing touchdown, the 49ers are 10-2.
So, in other words, he just needs to hand the ball off.
Hand the ball off and pass dink and dunk crossing routes to
He's
Deebo
a game
Samuel.
manager. Don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's a very above average game manager, but he's a mediocre quarterback overall. That's what he is.
Remember, the defense took them to the NFC Championship last year. So that defense.
And the year before that, they were in a Super Bowl.
They have a legit defense. They have a top 5 defense in the National Football League. So they can actually get after the quarterback. They can actually play good defense.
I just don't understand how a team that has such lackluster play at the most important position in all of athletics can still be considered a favorite to go to the Super Bowl. Not
because of the defense. It's the defense and the running game. That's it.
Right. But what I'm saying is that the 49ers, we saw what Kansas City did to them in Santa Clara.
Mm-hmm.
When you get ahead of them,
they struggle.
They are in trouble because Jimmy G is not that dude.
Right. They're not built that way. Not built that way.
But that's what I'm saying though, because as great as they are at every other area on the roster, the quarterback is still the hugest, if that's even a word, it is now, is still the hugest liability on that squad. We saw what happened when they get down. We see, unless they get down to Aaron freaking Rodgers, then it won't be a big deal because Jimmy G owns him. But I'm pointing directly to that Kansas City game, how they just jumped on those dudes, and when they got on top of them, they kept their foot on the 49ers' necks because they knew. And it's the same thing that I had said, or actually it was one of my co-hosts back then when they played the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, and you saw the difference between a $27 million a year quarterback and a $40 million a year quarterback. When he missed that pass, who was it? The Brandon Ayuk streaming down the field that would have actually given them the lead. That was the difference between the $27 million quarterback in him and a $40 million quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. And Jimmy G is still that same dude. So,
but wait, at that time, Patrick Mahomes was still on his rookie contract. He was a $15 million quarterback at that time.
But that's not what I'm saying though. What I'm saying is we know.
I'm just saying the fact is he got the contract, but that was an extension. At that time, he was still a $15 million a year quarterback. Yeah, there's a big difference there, and that's why I said you have to look at the bigger picture. But I mean, do you realize the last winning quarterbacks have all been either, other than Matt Stafford, has been Tom Brady on a less than market value, or a rookie quarterback has won the Super Bowls since 2000.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that's the difference in the talents between the two of them that's going to warrant the value being up here for one and then the value being down here for another.
Right, and that's why they restructured Jimmy G to stay there as the backup, because they didn't trust Trey Lance. Anybody can say what they want, but if they really wanted to run with Trey Lance, Jimmy G would have been gone in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
They restructured him to a one-year deal and got him to less than $20 million, and now it looks like such a brilliant move because they're poised to take that division still.
And I didn't even think that the 49ers would be the favorite with Trey Lance as quarterback.
No, they wouldn't have been the favorite. If Trey Lance is starting, they're not making it. If Jimmy G starts, they will, because he's more stable in that organization. And for some reason, they win with him as a starter.
Right. Except when they play Kansas City. I hate them, by the way.
I understand that. Because, Oakland, San Francisco, I get it.
Yeah. It's like night and day.
Am I coming through? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, I hear you. You good.
Technical difficulties on my end. It's like lagging in and out. Horrible connection.
Latency.
But I think we gonna do this night show for an hour. At least that's what I'm hoping. And we're about at the halfway mark. I figured the last 30 minutes we could switch it up and do some basketball content. But just to wrap up, our conversation with football, we're about halfway through the season. What has been the biggest lesson y'all have learned thus far? I'm a big bettor. I'm a degenerate gambler, unfortunately, and I have
always bet the home underdog.
I have a number of lessons I've learned, but that's a good one. Always bet the home underdog.
The reason why I say the home underdog, believe it or not, they cover 71% of the time.
Yeah.
That's not a bullshit thing. That's an actual number. Comes straight from Vegas.
And it would make sense. It's disrespectful to bet somebody to be the underdog at their home field.
That's what the Vikings are this weekend.
Oh, I'm taking the Vikings this weekend.
They're a 1-point dog to Dallas.
And that's with them getting the 3 for being at home. So technically they're a 4-point dog.
So one lesson that I've learned and reassured is Kirk Cousins does not win in primetime games. If it's 1:00, the Vikings are going to take care of business.
It's 4:30 game. It's not a primetime.
Doesn't that still count though? A little bit?
No, that's not a primetime game.
Okay.
Monday night, Thursday night, ESPN,
but wait,
Sunday night.
Think about it.
Times.
Dak Prescott is his brother from another mother because he does the same thing in primetime and playoffs.
Oh, it's Dak versus Dak, Kirk versus Kirk. That's going to be a hilarious game.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like the Vikings to cover too.
They might want to throw Cooper Rush in there again.
I've been saying that. I said
did
Cooper
go
Rush
to
is the better decision maker.
He did go to Minneapolis last year, and they did beat they did beat the Vikings. So yeah, they might want to think about that. I'm starting the rumor right now. I'm in Dallas. There's a quarterback controversy in Dallas.
Yeah, there should be.
Ron said,
There should be.
I would have never.
Cooper Rush is the better decision maker. He ran into the buzzsaw that was the Philadelphia Eagles running over everybody at the moment.
Yep.
And why did Eagles get beat? It was two things. Number one, they took Washington for granted. And number two, that defense ran a different defense than normal. They ran the wide 9 defense, which contains athletic quarterbacks and forces the run game to funnel outside, where their linebackers are sitting there waiting for them. That's what happened to them. Go back and watch it. The wide 9, they left their line right up at the line, and the outside linebackers came out to the line. They looked like they were going to blitz, and they'd drop back and they'd wait to see which side Hurts was running to, and then they'd attack.
Good point.
And one thing I learned, I could go a good route right here, but I'm not going to go there, so I'm going to go more defensive. We got a very good rookie cornerback class that's showing out that is balling this year. We got
college you're talking about?
Yeah. For
Joey Porter Jr. is the number one college and cornerback right now.
In the NFL, coming out of college, that's in the NFL right now. So you got Derek Stingley and played the most snaps out of all rookies, having given them not one touchdown this season. You got Tyreek Woodley, who's the defense who's in the running for defensive player of the rookie of the year. You got Ahmad Sauce Gardner, who's locking up everybody in his path. And you got Jack Jones. You got Jack Jones also, who's in New England right now, that is balling. You got another cornerback over there in Brian Cook, I believe, over there in Seattle, that is holding his own. Safety. So
Kirby Joseph for Detroit.
Yep.
Been a defensive player.
That was my favorite. That was one of my favorite guys. And we didn't get Jalen Petrie coming out of the draft, who's been really, really good. Also,
there are any Giants fans right here, because I want to say thank you to Giants for signing Kenny Galladay, because that was the comp pick that got us Joseph.
I like the Kirby Joseph coming out of the draft. If we didn't get Petrie, that's another safety I would want. Is Kirby Joseph as well. You got Trent McDuffie, who's going to be good from in Kansas City. So that's one thing. I learned we got a really good cornerback we got a really pretty much DBs, really good DB class out this year.
And look at McCreary tonight. That pass by Rodgers was so good he couldn't defend it with being in perfect coverage. Yep. He was right there on Lazard, and it just went right there. I mean, And Brett Gardepy says Aaron Rodgers' favorite Tiger in the Lions game was Kirby Joseph. I saw a meme and I posted it. It showed Aaron Rodgers being hit by Derek Barnes, and he's falling back, and he goes, "Screw it, Kirby Joseph is out there somewhere."
That's a really good safety. I wanted that dude if we didn't get Petrie, but they're both ballers. They're both balling right now for their expected teams.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt. Y'all ready to talk some basketball?
Sure,
let's do it.
I'm a Michigan homer, so it's my Pistons. They're trouble. I know, but it's still a rebuild. It's just I don't think their coach is the right guy for what they got. He was fine for the first couple of years development, but he doesn't have the X's and O's and the defensive mindset to take this team to the next level.
Right. They're on the road right now tonight, playing in LA, the Clippers. 3-12 start for your boys. My question for you guys has just been, where's Ivy been? No, we haven't seen any highlights, any big games, no splashes.
We've seen Jalen Duren, but we haven't seen much of Ivy.
Yeah.
But Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey, when he was playing, I think his ankle's tweaked again. That's why he's been sitting a lot and maybe coming in for just a couple minutes here and there off the bench. But for the most part, it is what it is. You know, when you draft a player that's tall and lanky, you got to expect soft tissue injuries to start the season.
I liked it. I thought Jaden Ivey coming out of the draft, I thought he was the best athlete, easily the third best player in the draft. I thought he was the best athlete coming out of the draft. I watched him
where we got him. It was
Purdue. At Purdue, he was very explosive. Only thing he needs to be a little consistent on the jump shot, but he's very explosive and get to the rim. I think I'm not concerned about him at all. I think he's going to be him and Cade Cunningham is going to be a dynamic backcourt to watch. But Jalen Duren, very strong out of Memphis, can rebound, tough, man. I like the Jalen Duren coming out of the draft, and I thought Detroit made the right move by trading for him when the New York Knicks. I think the New York Knicks originally kind of picked him, but at the end of the day, man, I think Charlotte, that was Charlotte. Matter of fact, that may have been Charlotte that picked him, and then y'all got him from Charlotte. So that's
it was Charlotte by way of a three-way trade with the Knicks and the Pistons. That's how we got him.
Yeah, I like Jalen Duren coming out of the draft. I thought he was consistently a top 10 pick, but he failed in the draft, so that's a good spot for him to fall in the draft. I actually got him on my fantasy team. I got him and actually Jaden Ivey because I got a very young fantasy team, and I like those group of guys that's coming out. And Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey, I think that the Pistons got something coming up their sleeve. They got the right coach in Dwayne Casey. I think Dwayne Casey love developing young talent. I like Dwayne Casey.
I like him as a developmental coach, but I don't like him as
that's what I'm talking about. He develops young players. He loves young players, and that Toronto team was very young when he took over that staff. But unfortunately, he got fired. So I like, for as Dwayne Casey as a developmental guy, he allowed the young players to play. But again, I like Detroit. I like Detroit's team. I think they got to get rid of Killian Hayes. I think Killian Hayes is not that good of a player.
You gotta remember, he's just now 20 years old.
Yep.
That he was what, 17 when he hit the league, 18?
Yep.
So he has to develop still. He hasn't even developed into a man yet.
Yep.
I mean, he's still running around, barely got a scrote in the NBA. I mean, he's learning and he's getting better, but he's going to be a better bench player. You know, as a bench player, I love him coming off the bench because he does have those ball handling skills and he is an excellent passer. He is decent at the pick and roll, but I do not like him as a starter. I like who we got starting, like you said, with Ivy and Duren and Cade Cunningham and all those guys, and Isaiah Stewart developing a 3-ball in the offseason.
I love him, dude. That's another guy.
That guy's a baller.
I love Isaiah Stewart, actually. I actually love him.
He's a dog.
Who would have thought we'd been spending this much time on the Detroit Pistons?
Man, that's a good young core, man. That's a good young core, man. That's a good young core.
This year, I would say I consider losing to be winning because at the end of this season, there's a player by the name of Victor and Scoot who I'm just like, 3-12. That might be exactly what this team needs to, get some pep into it. But despite all we're saying, you guys made a move to get a player that I did not want to see go to Detroit. I wanted to see him go to a contender, and Bogdanovich, and he's just wasting away up there now. That was that the franchise made.
It didn't make sense to make that move to me. It didn't make sense. Bogdanovich did need to go to contender. How much better would the Nets look right now with Bogdanovich?
They would look a lot better because he provides shooting. He provides a little bit more.
He provides something that KD can provide. Yep. Nobody else on that team can other than KD until Kyrie's off suspension. He's supposed to be coming back soon, right? Isn't it tomorrow?
Yeah, I think he's coming back in this very next game, I believe.
Yeah, tomorrow night, right?
Yeah.
See, I pay attention. I can talk. Kyrie.
Oh, yeah. Kyrie versus Kawhi. The return this weekend.
I expect them to get smoked still.
I say again, the Brooklyn Nets, I mean, they're a dumpster fire, man. I mean, you gave up 153 to the Sacramento Kings. You give up 153 points. Just got beat down. I mean, you almost gave up 100. That's damn near 170 points you're giving up against the Kings. But you got to give Mike Brown credit. Mike Brown has been doing a great job with the Sacramento Kings as well. They have been actually playing pretty solid basketball. But I mean, Brooklyn's still gonna get their money's worth. They're still gonna get beat the hell out this weekend. So I don't think Kyrie will make that much of a difference.
Yeah,
Not on the
bumped out
side.
too. Must be a internet thing tonight. Freddie bumped out because of his internet.
It is an internet thing tonight. Tonight, I guess it is.
There he is.
No, I'm back. The kids bomb dropped on the show.
Yeah.
So
what's the next team you want to talk about?
So
we could always talk about Freddie's Lakers.
Oh,
how long before we talk about the Lakers? I love the Sixers. I love Philly. Coach Dante, what's your squad?
the Rockets.
Oh,
We just like the Pistons. We are just as young as them.
y'all winning because y'all two. I'm looking at the two teams that's gonna get Scoot and Victor.
Yep.
Prize contestants.
We're just as young as the Detroit Pistons, same type of talent, same young team. I just want to get rid of a couple of bodies. I want
Is Christian Wood one of them?
Yep. I want to Eric Gordon. I feel like we need to send him to a contender at the trade deadline. Let him compete for a playoff team. Do not like Garrison Matthews on this team. I think he's taking minutes away from Josh Christopher, who could be really, really good. We do got Garuba, who had a great night versus Dallas. Jabari Smith is struggling a little bit, but I'm not so worried because most of his shots he's missing is open 3-point shots. He's gonna be fine. Jalen Green is stepping it up a little bit. He's averaging 22 points per game. So he's gonna be at that 25 to probably even 27 range in the next couple of years. Kevin Porter Jr., I think we need more of a playmaker. Kevin Porter Jr. is a scorer. He's not a playmaking type. Not a playmaking type guard. He doesn't look for teammates first. He's first line. He thinks he's a scorer. Yeah, we just need more of a young distributor at the point guard position and put Kevin Porter Jr. more. He's more of a 2 more than he is a 1. But again, Sengun, Alperen Sengun, that guy's an underrated young player, man. He's jumped his average up to 16 points per game, and KJ Martin has been balling as well. So I like our young team, just like Detroit, same as like Detroit. We got a good
scrappy, gonna beat some teams they shouldn't and lose to a lot of teams they
lose
shouldn't.
to a lot of teams, and we'll beat a team like Dallas, and we'll beat a team like Utah, which is we had this year. We beat. So both our wins, 3 of our wins, 1 of our wins came against Detroit, and 2 of our wins came against playoff teams as of right now. Utah is a playoff team right now, and Dallas is a playoff team. So we have the potential of beating some solid teams.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And 76ers, they got a decent team, that's for sure.
Yep.
I was gonna get to those Sixers of mine, and honestly, I'm just worn out. Like Embiid scored 59 the other day, and it's just like golf clap. We should have beat Atlanta in the playoffs. Is what we should have did. I don't care about the 59 no, but it's just been so. It's probably like being a Brooklyn Nets fan. It's just been a long couple of years, and just kind of like I'm ready to get to the playoffs and watch us get embarrassed again. Because I know that no matter how great,
I'm dead. I'm dead as fuck.
No matter how long everybody's coming along, it's kind of hard to get excited.
You just said, let's get to the playoffs and get beat again. What?
I mean, it's very much.
I know it happens.
They're not deep. They're not deep. They don't have the depth like that, man. They got Daniel House just sitting up there doing nothing. He just out there just to be out there. PJ Tucker, now he's gonna have his night where he gets 8-10 points, but he's down for the defense. But you got they don't have a bench. They just really don't have a bench. And James Harden being out, now you got opportunities for Maxey and B, but you don't got scoring anywhere else. Tobias Harris now is a spot up. All of a sudden, he's a spot up type of player. All of a sudden, his offensive game has changed.
Yeah, he used to be a slasher, and now all of a sudden he's a spot up jumper. When did that happen?
James Harden came in. You got too many guys that need the ball. You got Maxey that need the ball. You got Harden that need the ball, and B damn sure need the ball. And it's saying so that's you add that up. Now you got Tobias Harris on the outside looking in. You got 3 guys that need the ball. Now he's a 4th option all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
He's fourth option all of a sudden.
And before he would, before Harden and all them got there, he was like the second option.
Yep,
He was
and you
Embiid and
start seeing
Harris.
his game. You start seeing his game. Start seeing him being a borderline all-star.
I hated when we got rid of Tobias Harris.
Yeah,
I liked him.
Tobias was good, man.
The only guy I was happy we got rid of was Blake freaking Griffin.
That was a mess, wasn't it?
That was an SVG deal.
I've watched a lot of playoff games where I've screamed, what the hell, Tobias, a lot of times. So I'm going to let you guys enjoy this Tobias love fest.
No, when he was at the Pistons, he was a slasher and a scorer and a defender.
Right.
When he was
It's
with the
been
Clippers,
rough.
he was good too. He was good too with the Clippers.
And it's his contract too that makes him a frustrating. That's
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, so
I get
when
it.
it comes to contenders in the East, it's the Bucks and the Celtics, and everybody else is just
Blake
like,
Griffin and Andre Drummond being gone was such a beautiful thing. Max contracts. See ya.
It was one time y'all had the weirdest lineup. Y'all had Josh Smith who couldn't shoot. You had DeAndre Drummond, and who else you had at a small forward? That was Monroe, wasn't it? That was Monroe. Josh Smith had to play small forward up on that team. That was a crazy looking lineup, right? I remember that.
Don't remind me. It was horrible. Those were some bad years. Those were bad years.
of a Piston.
Yep, Greg Monroe.
Okay, well, let's switch it up real quick. I got 5 names. We're talking about a lot of bad teams and bad moments. Let's talk about some of the most improved players around the league. 5 of my favorites. Lauri Markkanen. A throwaway piece from the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Mitchell trade. He came from, I think he came from Chicago. We've kind of been waiting for him to put it together and be something relevant. Get shipped down to Utah, forgotten about. And this guy comes out here averaging 21 points a game, almost 9 rebounds, surprising everybody. Utah is a dream story in the NBA. Lauri Markkanen, most improved player of the year, guys?
Could be.
Our next player that we'll discuss and put into this conversation, Tyrese Halliburton, another player that was traded. I don't know if the Kings gave up on him.
They gave up on him, yeah, because they thought
Way too soon.
they thought they wanted to be playoff contenders. They were I believe they were 2 games out of the 10th seed. They gave up on Halliburton, and then they got Sabonis, and that been a dumpster fire since then. They're gonna regret giving that dude up.
Right, and they had the Fox Halliburton, situation. And Fox, we're gonna get to him shortly, but he's making them look less bad for that trade. But Halliburton, if you go look at the stat leaders and like assist and guard position stats and stuff like that, it's just gonna be him at the top, him at the top, him at the top. He's having
the next game, as soon as he got traded away, the next night, you know how much he had the very next night? He had 50 points the very next night. As soon as they traded him away, the very next night he had 50 points in his debut game.
He started shooting like he did in college.
21 points per game, 10.4 assists per game, 1.9 steals per game. He's just and the Pacers are 7-6, a record.
He's balling.
Our third player, Lauri Markkanen is like up there, and then we bring up Halliburton, and that's just like a whole nother dream story. Like, I'm so happy for them. But when we get to this third player on this list, SGA Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I think he's averaging like 45 a night or something. I don't know what happened to him. And he shot like less than 5 3-pointers all season, all posts, all getting in and just doing his rhythm and flow. I know what it was. It was that year he spent with Chris Paul. How impressive y'all been with him?
The kid's bad, man.
SGA, the Oklahoma City Thunder is the best young team in the NBA. They're the best young team in the NBA. And Tyrese Halliburton, I remember I covered him throughout the draft process. I believe that was the year where Trae Young them came out. I believe that was that year. Thought he was the 3rd best point guard coming up out of that draft. He came out of the 2 that's in front of him basically Luka and Trey, but I thought he was the third best point guard coming out of that draft. But Oklahoma City, they got a lot of draft picks. They got a lot of great young players. That's the best young team in the NBA right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's averaging 32.3 on the year. I think that's probably like third in the league.
That's
Behind
sick.
like Luka.
Sick.
Yeah, it's out of control. I think he's like a top 10 untradeable player out of nowhere. He
Mhm.
can't be moved. And it's crazy. He was yet just another throwaway, really, in a trade when Paul George was traded. Gems. That's why when these NBA trades be going down, I just be trying to figure out how teams just don't be trying to sneak in and just make them more. It's a beautiful system. NBA trading season. It's gonna be a wild trading year this year, fellas. We're gonna have some
But
wild nights.
Bogdanovich.
night.
Bogdanovich is going to be a trade deadline move to a contender to get
Who's
more
that?
draft picks.
Yeah, for you guys,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Send them on down to Philly. I'll do a Tobias trade. You guys have Tobias
No,
back.
we don't want Tobias. We want your picks.
You can have. We can. I don't think we got any picks in Philly.
Yeah, you guys ain't got any, so it'll be the next one that has picks.
Our last two players and our 5 players that we're going to discuss for most improved. Desmond Bane, once upon a time, came out here and said, I'm the best 3-point shooter in this league outside of Steph Curry. And why be darned, he actually came in this year and started doing it. Just balling him and Ja Morant.
And he averaging about 25 a game before he got hurt. Desmond Bane.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I was high on him last year. He could play some deep, chip in that little bit of a defense as well. He's a 3-and-D player. That guy, man, he ain't just no shooter. That man can put the ball on the floor too. If you come up on him, that man can pretty much do a little bit of everything. But far as shooting, when he shoots the ball, you might well take the ball out. With him, you might well just take it out once he starts shooting. Once the ball in there, you might well just take it out.
Woo. We're going to have our best backcourt conversation. That might be our debate for the next show, best backcourt. But I'm pretty sure him and Ja is it. Maybe them boys out in Atlanta might have something to say about that. But yeah, they're a problem. And the last player that I threw on this list was De'Aaron Fox, who he's definitely improved this year. Sacramento has looked good. They're shocking a lot of teams. They just shocked somebody, I think, last night after they was on a road trip. Who did they beat?
I know they beat Brooklyn. Brooklyn.
Was it Brooklyn that they beat by like?
Yeah, that's the game I'm talking about. They put 153 on Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They put 153 on Brooklyn, and they're beating the Spurs right now by 7 points.
Hoo-wee. That's a bad team.
Yeah, they are 7-6 as well. It's going to be a wild season. Regardless, De'Aaron Fox 24.6 a game, doing work, looking good. So out of those 5 players, most improved,
Shy.
Easy.
Definitely shy. Gilgeous-Alexander.
Go ahead and put his name on the trophy.
Go ahead and put his name on the trophy. I want to kind of add one more guy that's in the mix. Darius Garland out of Cleveland. I kind of want to add him.
Didn't he win it last year?
Huh? No, I don't think he got most improved last year. I don't think he got it. Did he get it?
I know he was in the conversation, but he got injured, and I think that's why he fell off a little bit.
I kind of want to give him some recognition because he's kind of overlooked as a guard in what he does. He's the reason why Colin Sexton is up out of Cleveland right now, because of the team is better suited around Darius Garland than him. And a lot of people didn't like the way he played his game, he plays his playing style. But now he's over there with Utah with that young core, putting up some numbers as well.
Oh, Ja Morant got it last year. Yeah. But Darius Garland definitely under the radar, but he put everybody on notice after that 51-point game the other day. And you saw he put up 51 and they got Donovan Mitchell. Cleveland, I'm waiting. I want to see if Cleveland could break that barrier and get in there with Utah, with Milwaukee and Boston. But I just think it's just
Brett
Another-
Garnaby had another throw-in player that was pretty good for him. He said when they traded Brandon Knight away and got Chris Middleton.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm. Who'd they get Chris Middleton from? Wasn't that the 76ers?
I'm trying to look it up right now.
It was.
Detroit Pitt. That was the
Oh,
Bucks.
Detroit.
And the Bucks. Don't
Damn.
bring to that.
Yeah, y'all had
That was
Chris
that-
Middleton.
I didn't even know we had him. That's how. That's the bad part. When we got rid of him, I didn't even know we had him.
It's
Oh,
hard
we
to
got
believe
cash
got
from the Pistons. He said.
13.
Yeah, that was a while ago. That's
He's
why I
been-
forgot about it. It was during the bad years. That was SVG era, wasn't it?
SVG.
Stan Van Gundy.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. He goes, yup. SVG years. The reason why we were in such bad shape when Troy, the Reaper Weaver took over. Yeah, I called him the Reaper the first year because the first thing he did was he traded away Drummond, then he traded away Griffin, and then he traded away. I was like, this guy's great. He don't give a shit.
He traded away the whole team, huh? He started giving away players, huh?
Getting draft picks
Yeah.
and making moves with them in the draft. It was brilliant. If you're going to rebuild the team, that's the way you do it. You gut
Yep.
everybody.
Yeah, you get rid of it. Yep.
Give me them value and them picks back.
He even got value out of Houston for Christian Woods.
Hey, you ain't lying. I'm so happy that he gone. You ain't lying. You ain't never lying about that. I'm so happy that he gone. We beat him last night. Matter of fact, yeah, we did beat him last night. So
Where'd he
yeah.
go? Phoenix?
No, he went to Dallas. We
went to
traded him to Dallas for
Yeah.
a first round pick. Yeah,
Great
I think
job.
that we got Tata Washington out of that trade.
I think we got a second out of you guys for him that year. We traded him away to y'all.
You talking about who? Yeah,
Christian
yeah,
Wood. Yeah.
Matter of fact, no, he walked in free agency. He
Oh,
walked.
that's right. We just cut his ass. That's right.
Yeah, y'all
We
cut
ate
him
it.
and we
We
walked.
ate it. We
That was
said,
a Kobe Gill.
"See
That
ya."
was a Kobe Gill that he walked. We got him on a pretty much on a 3-year deal, I believe.
Good,
Then there's been
good job getting rid of him
since. Yeah.
Good
I'm
job getting rid of him.
happy that we got rid of him.
because he was going to be because he was at that borderline level.
Mhm.
It was either going to be a veteran contract or a max contract for him if you waited for him to be done with this season.
And we was a rebuilding team anyway, so he wasn't gonna want to be a part of a rebuilding team anyway. So yeah, we just went on and got rid of him. And he had issues in the locker room. It was times that when for his attitude with Steven Silas benched him, he didn't want to get in the game. It was times that he was passing the ball on purpose. We shouldn't. Yeah, he has a history of being a headache in the locker room. He could be a headache in the locker room. Tell him. Be a headache.
That's why I was glad we got rid of him. He was okay off the bench, but he was a locker room issue.
Now he gets to go stand in a corner and watch Luka dribble the ball for 40 minutes a game. Condolences to him.
And maybe get 2 passes.
Speaking of Luka, according to Vegas, our MVP tracker, he is the favorite by 51.6%. Behind him, Giannis at 13.9%. Joker, then Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell. Do y'all expect anything to be shaken up in that order? Our top 5 players so far this year. Steph's not in there. He could shake this list up.
If you talk about the bottom guys, Steph could replace any one of them. If the Lakers can somehow learn how to shoot again, LeBron could be in there.
I think
That's not a thing. The Lakers can't shoot.
That's the only thing the Lakers can't shoot, and they can't play no damn defense either. They can't shoot or play no damn defense either. So I mean, it's just a dumpster fire over there. Again, I think Giannis is going to end up being a part of that too, because Giannis does so many things for the Milwaukee Bucks. He does everything for him: rebounding, scoring, assists, defense, block shots. That's the type of guy he can be MVP every single year. He can be a consensus MVP every single year for
because he's an all-round player.
Yep, just all-around type player.
You know who I would like to see shake up that list? My own Joel Embiid. It's shocking that he's not in that list, but he's had a slow start to the year.
And the 76ers hasn't really came out gangbusters right off the bat either as a team. And that's what's hurt Embiid. If he was scoring like that and they were winning, he'd be up there.
Right. And I the same way I felt when I was describing, the excitement of going into another Sixers season.
59 points. Tuck it easy.
I'm sure they feel the same way. They're angry. They're frustrated. They're just ready to get to the playoffs.
Y'all still have Doc too, don't you?
This is last year.
Oh.
This is last year. I'm gonna tell you this is last year. It's gonna get even worse for y'all because I predicted y'all may get Mike D'Antoni.
Oof.
That don't make me so happier.
If they get Mike D'Antoni, they might as well put their heads in the sand.
I'm telling you, Daryl Morey loves Mike D'Antoni. Harden loves Mike D'Antoni. It's all set up already for you, Rod, for this season. Doc Rivers gonna be
giving him all this bad news. He's ready to go put his head in the hole. You want who?
Undoka.
No.
Then go to the Nets. I want an actual good coach to come coach my team and bring some leadership and some qualities to these guys, because that's what Joel needs.
If Dwayne Casey would go and get one of these X's and O's coach out of college to be his assistant, and then a defensive coach out of college to be his assistant, that's what would change the Pistons into being something better. Because he does not teach that part. He teaches fundamentals.
Yeah. Would you be okay if Jay Wright will be a candidate for the Detroit Pistons, the coach out of Villanova? Would you be okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's an X's and O's guy. That's the type of guy I'm talking about. That's what's needed.
Yep.
These guys got the fundamentals down. They can teach fundamentals to the rookies coming in now, right? Because you'll have Cade in his third year next year. Jaden will be in his second year. Duren will be in his second. All of those guys, they'll all be in their second year to third year then. The nucleus is there. That's when you switch to an X's and O's guy. And that's when you start bringing in your vets for leadership. You start bringing in more rookies to be taught the fundamentals by the vets that you already have on the team and the ones you bring in.
Agreed. Well, fellas, we are officially getting to that 1 hour mark of our first night at Empire at Night. It's been a great show. Dibbled and dabbled, broke down some NFL.
I like what Brett said about Luka here. Can you guys know how to put that up on the screen? That comment?
I don't think I have. Oh, I can see the comments. So no, I think Freddie has to do it.
Okay. Luka is going to run out of gas in the second half of the year. Too high a usage rate. His stats drop off hard in the second half of games. He needs to get off the ball more. And I agree with that. If he was distributing more and not doing as much on his own, he would actually last longer throughout the year. But by doing it all himself like he does, that's why he has the drop off in stats. He always starts out the year up at the top in the stats of everything on all the scoring and all that stuff. And all of a sudden he becomes a distributor and his stats go down. Everybody going, what's wrong with Luka?
Yep. I might, if for all that to happen, I might switch up the lineup a little bit. I might put Dinwiddie in the lineup, who's more of the ball handler, and play Luka off the ball a little bit more. It's similar like in Atlanta, Trae Young with Jadante Murray. Jadante Murray allows Trae Young to play off the ball a little bit more, play off the ball a little bit more. So that way his usage rate can go down, his turnovers can go down. So DeJounte Murray is an extra body that you can have that also get you 20 points a game and 9 assists, get you about 6 rebounds, and also you can hide Trae Young on the defensive side of the ball too, because you got DeAndre Hunter and you got Murray who can guard any point guard in the league. So that's how Trae Young usage rates go down. So I will put Spencer Dinwiddie in the lineup, another ball handler that can handle the basketball, take Luka off the ball a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I just love talking sports, so I don't care. You see, I can handle my own. I know what I'm talking about, at least.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I love your content versus with that Detroit too, that Michigan and all that. I love them. Love that.
Detroit basketball.
That's the only thing annoying is that Mason.
No.
I get so sick of that. So sick of that. It's Detroit.
How them Tigers doing? How
basketball.
the Tigers gonna do next season? How them Tigers gonna do?
If they don't get at least 3 consistent bats to go throughout the lineup, move Baez to the bench and sign somebody else. We should have spent the money on Correa. That's who we should have spent the money on. He overspent on Baez because he's a free swinger and aggressive, and he has anywhere from 120 to 200 strikeouts a year. Scott Harris has put a really nice front office around him. The guy we just hired from San Francisco. I like what he's doing. We got guys from winning organizations and ones that don't usually spend a whole buttload of money to get the talent. They do a lot of their scouting through the farm systems and everything else and get it through the draft. I like that. But that, I'm going to warn Tigers fans, that means we're 2 years away from contending.
Correa would
we
be
also
nice
need
piece.
Correa would have been fantastic.
He AJ Hinch guy. AJ Hinch guy too. He played for AJ
I know.
Hinch.
I know AJ Hinch was like, Correa, give him the damn money.
He put the bat on the ball, hits for a great average.
Great defensively.
For real, got a strong arm. Yep, got a strong arm.
Stop. I was drooling when I heard we were rumored in the talks for Correa. And then I said, we ended up with Baez. Why?
You talking about the Javi Baez that fell apart in the second half with the Mets?
Yes, that Javi Baez, that guy. He at one point was hovering around the Mendoza line this year. Like right around 198 to 210 type stuff. And I'm like going, get this bum off the team.
He was that bad?
He was that bad at one point mid-season. Now, the other thing they need is they need a closer that doesn't get lonely on the mound and put friends on the base path. That turns it into a roller coaster watching the closer come in. The other thing we need is better back end of the rotation. Our top 3 guys with all those young arms that we got going, they're not bad, but the back end of the rotation just falls apart.
It sounds like y'all need a lot.
We do. I just named off 6 things we need, but it's not wrong either.
It's not wrong. They were pretty bad this year. I thought they were. That's why
Greg Soto loses his blows saves. Is he gets lonely out there? We'll have a 4-run lead, and he puts 2 men on. Then there's a 3-run homer, and then he says, "Oh, let's strike the guys out now." Why didn't you just do that to start with and still get your save? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I watched a lot of baseball too. I'm a baseball guy. You're not wrong. We had a series with y'all. Well, I don't think we never got to y'all closer though. I don't think the Astros series never got to the closer.
There was one series where we actually dominated the first 2 games, and then we fell apart the 3rd and 4th game to split that series. If I remember, it was a 4-game series where the first 2 games we were like, wow, look at this. We can do shit. And all of a sudden it was like, wait a minute. This is the same team that scored 7 and beat them 7-1 yesterday, and we lose 11-2. What the hell's going on here? Same exact roster rolled out. What happened?
I remember we had one double inning game. Now we had one. I think the game went into the 9th. when we played at home. I think that was the first game. That was the first game of the series when Candelario hit that 2-run shot off Ryan Presley because Ryan Presley was just coming back off his injury. Then we won it. We won it in the 9th inning. I don't know.
And Greg Soto was the guy on the mound too.
Yep, man. Yep. We won the game in the 9th inning. That's
we walked 2 guys, and somebody hit a bloop single that scored somebody, and then it was the 2-run shot to take the lead.
Yep. That's what it was. I don't know if y'all won a game against us this year. I think we swept y'all this year.
I think we won the first 2 games in one of the series, and then we lost.
That's probably what's the back at home. I know we swept y'all when we was in Minute Maid. That was probably when y'all was at home then. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, and it's crazy because they got the talent to beat good teams because you see it. They'll whoop up on a team and then lose 2 to them.
Yep. I seen the talent with the Detroit Tigers. I think y'all got the right manager. AJ Hinch is a nice manager.
I'm not upset with AJ Hinch at all.
He can develop talent. He can develop guys. He know the right guys to put out there. He know the lineups. That they can put out there.
Christmas came in July when I got that little notification that Al Avila was fired. I felt like I was watching that show Bosom Buddies back in the late 80s, early 90s, trying to do the Meposian Dance of Joy.
Yeah. Scott, I remember telling Scott about that because he said the same thing that you said, that y'all trade people with them, but don't get nothing up out of them. Y'all don't get. Yeah, he was basically saying the same thing that you basically breaking down right now.
Mm-hmm.
That you basically broke down right now. Then he said y'all got another pitcher that he didn't like. Was it Eduardo Rodriguez, I believe?
Oh, I don't know why we signed him. The guy was a bum where he came from, and he's a bum when he got here, and then he got hurt and missed half the season. He's a bum.
Golly, he said he's a bum. So yeah, we hit that pretty much.
He's as trash as Aaron Rodgers was against the Detroit Lions.
Oh my goodness. He was horrible against Detroit. He was horrible against Detroit. So
and he wasn't that good tonight versus Tennessee. He had some good throws here and there, but he didn't make the right decisions to win the game.
Is there any rumors that you guys got that y'all want to sign in that you're hearing about Detroit signing in free agency, like the Detroit Tigers signing in free agency? I
haven't heard anything yet. They're keeping that mum, and I like it. Everybody's like, what do you mean? Last year, we knew who we were targeting in January. I don't like knowing stuff way ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we knew it in December. Well, we're going to target Carlos Correa, and we're going to target Javi Baez. I was like, no on Baez, yes on Correa. I mean, I did that immediately.
Yep.
Cardipi said something about Killian Hayes here. I think the same thing when I watch Killian Hayes play. Get that bum off the team, or at least the court. He's been awful.
How about I heard a lot about what you call it too. Spencer Torkelson, upcoming first baseman for you.
I like him.
What would y'all
Torque is good.
Okay.
He's the main reason why Cabrera did mostly DH duty this year.
Mm-hmm.
Which is where he should be at his age.
Yep. I mean, y'all got some good young guys on there.
Riley Green.
Riley Green was really good when
Spencer
he came
Torkelson.
up.
We got
I like him.
Casey, the pitcher.
Casey Mize.
Yeah, Casey Mize. We got a couple more pitchers. God, I can't think. It's too late.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to look at the roster, and I don't want to cheat.
That can come up and play right now, in your opinion, if it's anybody that in the farm system.
I haven't really looked at the farm system yet, so I got to do some more research, and I'd love to just continue this conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's getting late.
Yeah. So we about to get ready to go and close it out. So give people where they can follow you from. Well, I ain't got the button, so I think Richard.
As you see, I got my Twitter handle right there next to my name at Smoking Jeremy B. You could also find me on Kneecap Biting with Smoking Jeremy B for my Lions content. This Sunday, I can't wait to be a guest talking with 4 former Lions players: Jeff Chadwick, Stefan Logan, Mark Schmidt, and my personal favorite off of the defense, one of my 4 favorites from the 90s, Benny Blades.
Oh, okay. I like that. Well, somebody gonna have to come up here in the stream because I ain't got the thing. I ain't in the stream yard part, but y'all know
Freddie,
y'all.
if you're out there, close us out.
Yep. So y'all know y'all can follow me on the Empire Sports Network. Coach Dante on YouTube. Y'all find me on IG, Coach Dante 31. Y'all can find me on Twitter, Coach Dante 31. So nice to be up here. Empire Sports at Night, and like I say, y'all peace, love, and blessings. And we up out of here, you guys. Somebody
I'm gonna
come
message
in
him
the
real
stream.
quick.
Yeah,
I think that's the best way to handle it.
Somebody close us out. I think if we just all leave the studio at the same time.
It don't work that way. I've tried that. My phone went dead one night while everybody was in, and I came back and everybody was gone, and my stream was still going with just a blank screen and my logo.
Yeah. Let me try to get Key to come close.
Did you see what I said? Freddie Henderson, close this biatch. Please, we're dying here. Coach Dante's trying not to crack up at me. I still loved how I got Gene cracking up on the pre-gaming pigskin tonight. Did you see that, Coach? He made a comment how Foxborough's in the middle of nowhere and it would be a good place to murder somebody. I said, just ask Aaron Hernandez. He knows all about that at Foxborough.
Yeah, Aaron Hernandez. Oh, yeah, and he was actually a good tight end.
Great tight end. Great tight end
too.
Tremendous talent.
Yeah.
Think about it. When he was on the field, Gronk didn't have to be the main guy.
Yep. Yeah. They used to run two tight end sets every.
Yeah, and both of them were receivers. It's like, who do you cover?
Yep.
I still thought that was hilarious. That made Gene laugh so hard he lost his train of thought.
Oh my goodness. How what's your caller been doing? Jeff Okudah. How has it been doing this year?
He just got a pick six. He's actually turned into what I call a shutdown corner, not a lockdown corner. A lockdown corner is the guy that gets picks, stays in great coverage. He's becoming a shutdown corner to the point where QBs don't target the wide receiver he's covering. That's how good he's been. He shut down Justin Jefferson, 3 catches for 14 yards in the Minnesota game. Tre'Davious White couldn't do that.
Brett said if we all just leave, I think it will close out automatically. It will close out automatically if we just leave.
Well, we can try. But I don't think it works out that way because you got
to. I believe I did it once before on my StreamYard, and it did do that. It did close out automatically, so it can do it.
Well, everybody, this has been the Empire at Night. We had a lot of fun. We had Ron Lowe, we had Freddie Henderson, we had Willie, we had Coach Dante, and myself. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great evening.
Have a great evening, y'all.